Hello, welcome back. I'm Miniature Mike, and today I'm going to do kind of off the cuff video where, and I might do a couple variations of this tier list in a bit, but what I want to do is this is going to be my experience collecting all characters from these various sets. So I'm basically going to put down how difficult has it been for me to, 100% certain sets. Has been really hard, has been pretty easy. I mean, all in all, it's been like 20 years since the game came out, so like collecting these minis can be tricky sometimes, no matter what set it is. But some sets are definitely easier than others, from my experience. And maybe you've had totally different experiences, and certain sets have been really hard for you to get a hold of. But yeah, let's just gonna kind of go through this. I have one of my tools up as well that kind of helps me keep track of how I'm doing with the sets, how hard it is, how easy it's been. So we're just gonna jump into it. First one is Alliance and Empire. So I'd say this one's been kind of moderate for me, and I might change these around. So overall, I collected a lot of the characters pretty early, but there's still quite a few of them that are just hard to find. Some of the fringe characters, yeah, it hasn't been too bad. Mostly it's just like the Rampaging Wampa, Jabba Crime Lord, Ewok Hang Glider. Yeah, I haven't seen one of those in a while. So like, somewhere for me, it's not too bad and maybe moderate in terms of the difficulty for me in trying to collect these guys. But there's so many characters that you can gobble up a lot of them pretty quick, and they're not too expensive anyway. But there's a few, of course. Let's see. Next one is Attack on Endor. I think this is easy. Like, you go on eBay, or I'll buy like a lot of characters, and it's just like, oh look, another Attack of Endor set, another Attack of Endor set. So like I've probably gone through like 4 ATSTs and lots of the Scout Troopers. I still need to list them, but I have like I don't know, like 4 maps. So I think getting a new Attack on Endor might be something else, like out of box. But like I think this has been easy to collect these guys. Battle of Hoth. I'm gonna say it's not bad. It's been a little harder to collect these. The reason I say not bad is it's still pretty easy to find, a whole set online. You gotta pay for it. And if you're trying to like collect like single guys here and there, like some of their one-offs, like because most of them are reprints, with the exception of 2 characters. I will say, unless you buy the whole thing, I don't really see Blizzard Scout 1 very often on the market. General Viewers Hologram, not as much him either. But from what I've seen is you can still find these whole sets complete together, and it's not too bad if you just want to like, okay, I'm just gonna spend $100 or whatever it is and just pull the trigger on it. It's not too bad, but it's not. I don't think it's easy either. Next one is Bounty Hunters. Let's see, how am I doing? Bounty Hunters for me has not been too bad. It really, well, I'm gonna put it in moderate, and this is just my experience. I'm gonna put it ahead. I don't know, it's like, I think I've just gotten lucky, because there are some really hard people to get, like, Jango Fett, Boba Fett, the Crate Dragon, just to name a couple. They're really expensive people. I don't have the Crate Dragon yet. I don't have the Basilisk Wardrobe, Mandalore the Indomitable. Like, I think this guy's kind of borderline tricky, so we'll see. I might put him in tricky, because there's a few people I'm missing. Like, I'm only missing like 5 guys, but they're like the hardest ones to find, so yeah, it's kind of, for me, it's borderline tricky between moderate, so we'll see how this shakes out. But for the most part, there's a lot of interesting bounty hunters. Some of them you can gobble them up pretty quick, but for me it's been not too bad. So anyways, let's move on to the next one, Champions of the Force. Personally, I think collecting Champions of the Force is pretty easy. I'm only missing like 2 characters from it. I'm gonna probably put it here, just on above Champion. Like, I know there's some of the Sith guys, like Darth Malak can be one of the more pricey characters. I might actually, because maybe I shouldn't be that quite easy on it. It's not bad at all. Like, you can gobble everybody up pretty quick. The Sith characters, they tend to be some of the cheaper ones. Darth Nihilus is, yeah, I think that I feel better about that. You still have to find them. Darth Nihilus is a little expensive. Some of the other ones, not too bad, but like, it's an older set. It's really not too bad to just kind of gobble everything up real quick. Like I said, the Sith characters tend to be more expensive. They're not that expensive. You're looking like Bastila Shan can be kind of hard to find. I'm still missing 2 characters. I'm still missing the original Snowtrooper with the E-Web Blaster. I keep on finding ones from Battle of Hoth. And then the Octopower droid. For some reason, I just haven't wound upon it yet. But other than that, I have everything else. I don't think it's that bad at all to collect. Clone Strike. For me, for some strange reason, and maybe it's different for you guys, I found Clone Strike to be really tricky. I'm going to put it behind Bounty Hunters. But, maybe I shouldn't. Yeah, I don't know why. I've just had a really hard time collecting Clone Strike. Like, I'm missing, the original Aura Singh, Padme. I'm gonna put it right here as to moderate. I think overall it's an old set. It's not that hard to find these characters, but of the older sets, for some reason, it's been much harder for me to collect all of them. The Gungan Cavalry on Kadu, I just don't see that. Let's see who else. I see Qui-Gon, but I haven't pulled the trigger on him much yet. The original Count Dooku, I'm missing Darth Sidious, Dwarf Spider on Aura Singh. Aura Singh's a little pricey. I don't want to just go out of my way necessarily and buy her straight up. But it's been moderately difficult for me to collect these. Maybe it's different for you. But yeah, I don't know what it is. Clone Strike, Rebel Stormzy, Revenge of the Sith is a cakewalk, for me at least. So it's like, of the old sets, it's been surprisingly hard. So let's see, Dark Times. Let's see, how am I doing at Dark Times? That is a tricky one. I'm missing, oh boy. Yeah, Shard Het, oh boy. So I think for Dark Times, I'm going to put them above tricky because they have some really crazy characters in there that are just hard to find. Like, a Shard Het is expensive. Crook Jedi Master, he's a tough one to find too. Some of those like Rebel Jedi, that can be Republic as well. They can be kind of tricky. Darth Sidious, no, wrong one. That's Clone Wars. So I think it's pretty tricky to get some of these characters, especially to 100% it. Trying to just pull the trigger on a Shard Het, you just got to get lucky, or you just have to say, yeah, I'm just gonna eat the whatever $200 that someone's charging and go for it. But it's a hard one. Other than that, though, I think it's actually not too bad to collect. To get most of the set, but to kind of to get the rest of it, that's tricky. Let's see, Galaxy at War. So Galaxy at War is a tricky one in some ways. Some of the really good characters you wouldn't expect are not that hard to get, like the Obi-Wan, the General Grievous. However, some of the hard characters to get from that set are some of the ones like Cad Bane, like he's probably one of the most rare ones. I'm still missing General Loathsome. He's actually really expensive last time I checked. He was like, some people are listing him for like $70. Holy crap. I honestly don't think Galaxy War is too crazy. Like, let's be real, the most expensive person is probably Cad Bane. He's probably worth a lot on eBay. I haven't really checked one off, but I think Dark Times might be a little bit trickier. I'm gonna put Galaxy War at the back of tricky for me. Yeah, I think Bounty Hunter is a little bit more accessible. Galaxy War is a couple people a little hard to get, but I think some of the Dark Times people, for me, are just like, oh gosh, they're so expensive. Imperial AT-AT. This is a kind of tough one. I don't even know how to rank it because I'll just put it at the bottom of not bad. It's expensive. You gotta pull the trigger on it, but there's so many of them out there. So it's like, if you want it, you can get it. But it's expensive, and it's just one character, so I don't think it's bad at all. So. For me, Imperial Entanglements, I have no idea why, but for me, Imperial Entanglements was by far the easiest one for me to collect. I'm just trying to think who in the set should have been, like, you have Emperor Palpatine on chair, you have Thrawn, but like over the years of, collecting and reselling, geez, I've probably resold like 5 Thrawns. I just keep getting him in lots. And then I did have to pull the trigger. No, I don't think I did. I think I got Emperor Palpatine in a lot. Like, there was a lot I got once, and it just had like a ton of IE characters, tons of them, and then so many of them keep having them. So, like, in my experience, I think collecting Imperial Entanglements has been a total cakewalk, and this is probably not your experience. So, like I said, your experience is different than mine, but like, I just feel like on an individual basis, they don't necessarily have any characters stand out, or characters stand out that are like $200, $100, $150. It's just like, you got some 50s, you got some 40s, 20s, and then a bunch of like, top 5s and 10s. It's just been, like, it's one of the few sets I've 100%ed, and I 100%ed a long time ago, and I'm still missing a ton of characters, so I think it's been pretty easy. Jedi Academy for me has also been very easy. I'm just going to put it I'm trying to put it below Champions of the Force, actually. No, I'm going to put it just above. So for me, Jedi Academy, I'm still missing Dark Woman and Cole Skywalker. Those aren't too bad, but, you know, they're really not too bad characters to collect. I just haven't, you know, gotten lucky or spent the money on them yet. But, like, I feel like it's been easy for me to get them. Like, a lot of the characters in there that I'm thinking of, I can't really think of anybody that's just so crazy expensive. Like, hold on a second. Let's do Rebel Scum. Let's see what this says. Okay, Jedi Academy. Right there. So, like, none of these guys are hard to get. I don't think Darth... yeah, these guys are kind of tricky, but, like, I don't know. This is just my experience. Nagasata, okay, he can be a little tough. Let's keep this here. Dark Woman's tough. He's easy, in my opinion. Master Kruk, kind of middle. Easy. I don't think any of these guys are that hard to collect. Yeah, these are cheap guys. Leia Skywalker a little bit, but not the other Leia Skywalker's hard. She's not that bad. Yeah, not really. Okay. I think there's some people in here I overlooked. So I think I'll be fair and do bottom of Jedi Academy. It's not that bad, in my opinion. So, okay, what's next? Old Knights of the Republic. Oh my gosh, I am never going to 100% this set. I'm just not. There's so many outrageously expensive people. It's like, okay, so there's a lot of the Old Republic people, like, you know, Master Luciandre, Mira, Squin, Karth, Adran. Holy crap. The new Darth Malak's more expensive. Darth Sion's like $1 million. Jar Jar Binks is like $80 or more. Juwani's expensive. I have the mini, no card though. Kreia is $1 billion. Even again, the Rakuls is really expensive too, and they're uncommon. I think these guys, from my experience, collecting Knights of the Republic has been crazy difficult. Maybe you've gotten lucky, and I don't know what it is. It feels like even though this set was kind of in the middle, sort of, when it comes to releases, maybe like middle late. Like I feel like it's way harder to collect these than any of the new sets that were more recent. So, let's see. Legacy of the Force. I think it's difficult. It's kind of moderately difficult. Let's see, how hard is it to get some of those guys? Legacy of the Force. Nami, I don't have her yet. She's a little tricky. Yeah, some of these guys, Darth Talon, Crate can be a little tough. Cadus can be pretty tough. Not really. Rowan Fell, sort of. Not too bad, honestly. Really, it's just some of those Sith characters. Boba Fett Mercenary Commander, not horrible, but kind of expensive. Kate Skywalker's... I had an opportunity to get a lot with Kate Skywalker in it. Should have done it, missed out on it, but it would have been a good deal. Bummer, yeah, none of these guys. I don't think it's too bad. I really don't think it's too bad. Like, it is a little rough with some of these characters, but no one that really jumps out is like, you know, $200, $300. So, let's see, it's this one. But it's a little tricky. I'm definitely going to put it, above moderate. Yeah, because Bounty Hunter still has some really expensive people in there. And Legacy of the Force, I feel like its characters don't quite hit that just yet. And that's from my experience. Masters of the Force. Let's see, just taking a quick look. I've almost completed this one, but there's some really tough ones left. So like Masters of the Force, for example. I have K. Quildroma, missing the card. Lord Hoth's tough. Freed on that's kind of tough. I'm also missing that card. I don't think these guys are too bad. Rulif Mon's kind of. Yeah, no, sort of. He's kind of expensive, but not too bad. I don't think the Dejarik characters are too horrible to collect. Like, you'll find them thrown into random things. I really don't think... There's no one in here that jumps out to me as, like, holy crap, except for, like, maybe Lord Hoth, maybe Kay. Yeah, so I think what I'll end up doing is I'll probably stick these guys. Jedi Academy's easy. That has to stay down low for me. I just have not had a hard time collecting those. Masters of the Force... I'll put it, like, right there. Yeah, I'll put these guys kind of together. I think Legacy might be has maybe a little higher quantity. Rebel Storm, okay, surprisingly, it's actually not as easy to collect as you think. However, it's still down here in the not bad. So I'm going to probably put Rebel Storm just below Champions for me. I'm still missing the Wampa and Stormtrooper on Dewback, although I have a character for it. But like overall, like I think it's most of the characters are dirt cheap, but there's a couple that are a little pricey. You know, like Emperor Palpatine's a little tough to find. It's not like they're necessarily hard to find. No, it's not that they're expensive. But that sometimes some of these unique characters or very rare characters can be a little hard to find. Yeah, so it's not that they're expensive, just hard to find overall. But I'd say Rebel Storm's not bad. It was the first set, so it should be pretty easy overall. For some reason, Clone Strike's way harder. Jeez, but Rebel Storm pretty easy. Overall, it's pretty easy, but there's a couple of those loose characters that'll take you a minute extra to find. Rebels and Imperials, I don't even know. I'm just going to put these guys up here. Maybe they should be top tier. For me, I just don't see these guys on the market. I just don't. I literally never see these guys in the market. I got an Emperor Palpatine once, and I just got lucky because that guy's pretty valuable to get the Rebels and Imperials Emperor Palpatine because they're just more rare. But like, when it comes to me trying to 100%, I basically took out. I was like, I'm not going to worry about Rebels and Imperials. They're all reprints. I'm just going to focus on the other sets. And even while I've like bought lots of lots, sifted through them, like I find no cards from Rebels and Imperials. I find no minis from Rebels and Imperials. They just never turn up. So like, for me trying to 100% everything, like I think it might be one of the hardest ones. I'm going to put Rebel Knights of the Republic first though, just because it's like one of the base sets that I really care about, whereas Rebels and Imperials is kind of like a cherry on top, but it's hard to find. They're so hard to find. Revenge of the Sith, so easy. I'm trying to think if there's any Revenge of the Sith characters that's actually hard to collect. I think Revenge of the Sith has got to be one of the easiest sets ever to collect. It's just, like, all the characters are dirt cheap. Even some of the characters that are a little pricey are really cheap compared to the pricey characters in other sets. But like for me, Revenge of the Sith, I actually technically don't think I have it 100%ed right now. I'm going to take a look. Do I? Yeah, I have it 100%ed. No. I'm missing the original Darth Vader, I think. Or do I have it? Let's see here. What do we got going on? I don't see any Revenge of the Sith. Yeah, I must have actually grabbed that Darth Vader. Interesting. It wasn't just the starter set one. That surprises me. Yeah, Revenge of the Sith is easy. I 100%ed that one a while ago. It's just, it's not that bad. So, a couple characters, you know, little tricky sort of to get, but at the end of the day, they really aren't. So, Clone Wars scenario. I don't think these guys are that bad. I'm just going to put them down here at the bottom of not bad. I don't think they're too expensive either, and sometimes people are just kind of selling them in groups. Like I've resold several people from Clone Wars scenarios. Yeah, and there's a lot of different ones. There's like the little map packs, and then there's like the big one with 10 people that has a lot of like, you know, it's like the reprinted Mace Windu. It has the Lancers. Just kidding. If you're including those characters, I think it's getting a little bit more tricky. I'm gonna probably put top of not bad, because for the most part, you can find the vehicles, you can find a lot of stuff pretty well. It's just finding the Lancers and the speed bikes can be pretty tough. So like, it's just those ones that I think are really tricky to find. So I'm gonna put at top of not bad. But everything else, like I've gone through so many, it hasn't been hard for me to collect them. So let's see here. I think of the like special sets, it's probably the hardest one to get to 100%. If you're not just buying the whole pack. And there's a lot of people on eBay that just sell the whole pack. So there you go. That's another option. Clone Wars. This one is interesting. So you do have... I don't think this one's too bad from my point of view. I'm still missing Hologram, Rex, he's tough, Kaibuck, and then Dirge Jedi Hunter. That's kind of tricky ones. But that's kind of it in terms of the expensive ones. However, I'm missing a few that are really tough to find. Ahsoka Tano's kind of expensive. Rex is a tough one. I don't think... Yoda on Kaibuck can be a tricky one. General Grievous Droid, Commander, I think he's like $50-$60 sometimes. It's not that bad. I think I'm going to put it in moderate. Not too bad. I'm going to put it right here, because some of those... I still think Alliance and Empire, definitely the bottom of moderate. It's not that bad to collect. A couple tricky ones, but overall you'll be fine. Clone Wars, I'll put it above Clone Strike. I think this looks just fine. Okay. We're almost done. The Force Unleashed. For me, this has actually been a really easy one to collect, with a couple exceptions. So not everyone's just going to be able to get Darth Revan. He's tough, but through buying lots over the last maybe year, maybe 6 months, I've come upon 3 Darth Revans, and I just got lucky. Kept one, sold the other 2. But I don't think the Force Unleashed is actually quite as bad as some of these ones, because you have the Felucian Warrior on Rancor. That's really a hard one to get. Revan, and otherwise, like, I don't feel too crazy about some of the other ones. Maybe I've had them for a long time. So Revan's tough. Okay, Shaak Ti, a little tricky. Let's see. Yeah, Carbonite can be a little expensive for some reason, but not that bad. Hoth Pilot, Luke Skywalker and Yoda is a little tricky. Vader's Apprentice. Both Vader's Apprentices are tough. Unleashed is not that bad at all. No. Nah. Mercenaries is a little expensive. Warrior on Rancor is a tough one. So for me, it hasn't been too hard to collect this set, even though there are a few people in there that are a little tricky. So I think I'm going to say it's worse than Masters of the Force. I still don't think it's bad as Legacy. I think Legacy can be a little bit trickier, and that's from my experience. I just got lucky with some of the characters. So, yeah. And then last one is Universe. Universe is not that hard, guys. I'm not going to put it into no problem, into no problem at all, but I'm just going to say not bad. It can be a little tough here and there, like getting the original Thrawn can be a little hard to find, maybe. But really, it's really not that bad at all. I'm just going to put Universe, like, just a step up. Yeah. Is there anyone in Universe that jumps out at me? Is like really tricky. None of these guys are hard to collect. Darth Maul Speeder, sort of, but not really. And this is just my experience. Nope, none of these guys were hard to get. Nope, not these. This is an easy set. Yeah, this is an easy set to collect. This guy, Luke Skywalker, sort of, but not really. These guys are easy. I'm just going to stick this guy straight at the bottom of not bad. I'm not going to say no problem, because for me, getting Revenge of the Sith and getting Imperial Entanglements was just an absolute cakewalk. Like, I accomplished it super fast. No one really jumped out as being very expensive. I don't know, did Wizards of the Coast just make a million of these and maybe not as much of the other ones? And then Universe has been pretty easy. I haven't 100%ed it quite yet, so I'm still missing one mini. But overall, I think it's just like a hair above no problem. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that. I would expect you guys to all have different lists than me. And this is just my experience when it comes to collecting and how tricky it's been to 100% these various sets. They've all been pretty fun to collect, honestly. Like I mentioned before, I don't really care about collecting Rebels and Imperials as much right now, because I just know it's just going to be tricky. But when it comes to like the core sets, Knights of the Republic is just ludicrous how difficult it is to get it. And I'm still missing like 11 very rares from that set, so best of luck to me. But if you guys are interested in collecting and you haven't really started yet, maybe this will be helpful for you. Maybe you'll have a different experience than I have. But I'd probably say that this is generally, I don't know, this is my 2 cents, I should say. That if you're looking at sets to kind of pick up easily, like, hey, I want 100% this, some of these ones down here I'd say are not that bad to pick up at all, especially the full sets. The little scenarios, they're a little wacky in terms of, like, maybe just they're there, but you can pay full price for them, or you can pick them up here and there. But, like, Revenge of the Sith, i.e., easy. Champions of the Force, Rebel Storm, Universe, pretty easy. And they're all, as you can see, older sets, with the exception of this one. All these ones in the middle, these are kind of more moderate sets in terms of when they came out. Some of the new ones, actually. And then Tricky Dark Times, Galaxy at War, and Bounty Hunters. They have some expensive minis in those ones. But it hasn't been too bad for me to get them. But anyways, I'll end there. Please like, please subscribe. I'd love to hear your comments about your experience trying to collect from these sets. Which ones have been difficult, which ones have been easy, and am I way off base? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Until next time, we'll see ya.